Howdy, folks. I'm Brian.
I'm Amber. I'm writing. I was distracted.
Amber is writing and very distracted, I guess. She didn't know that I was even starting up at that second, so it was a bit of a delayed response. And here's some Reddit. Am I a jerk for convincing my stepdaughter not to sign a deal? My stepdaughter, a 24-year-old female, runs an Instagram page/YouTube channel with a decent amount of following. She makes some money off of it, and her father wanted her to sign up with an agency. He had done most of the work, and she had a contract in hand. She asked me to take a look at it. I'm not a lawyer, but I have taken part in some business negotiations. The document was biased against her. They got control over any IP she created, more than half of the cut of all of her earnings, and their marketing commitment was very vaguely defined. The only real benefit of the contract was a $35,000 upfront payment for signing up, but it had to be paid back if she failed to meet their content production targets. It was a deal where her upside was limited while their downside was protected. I told her that the deal was bad and that she could do much better than whatever this company offered by just working on her own. She's a smart girl and she decided not to sign up. She really doesn't care. She's making money to support herself and does what she likes and has no need to go viral. Her father hates that I interfered in their relationship with his daughter. Her mother, my wife, is not happy either, as she doesn't want my daughter to be self-employed. I feel a bit guilty, as I do not mince words when I describe the deal. I was furious, and ensuing fallout between her and her dad has strained their relationship. I feel like I poured fire on a family feud. Her father is mad at me for poking my head in where it belongs and upstaging him. He doesn't like me a lot anyways, and he hates the fact that his ex-wife married a woman. My wife is miffed that I encouraged her to continue this career. Alright, OP. I'm going to have to say that you're not the jerk in this situation. I don't know how you could possibly be misconstrued as the jerk in this situation. You are looking out for your daughter's best interests. It doesn't matter if everyone else here is not looking out for her best interests, and that's probably why she asked you if the contract was any good, because she knew that she could rely on you to tell her the truth. So you did exactly what she needed. You told her the truth. You didn't mince words. You told her that the contract wasn't good and that she could do better on her own. And her father, if he was really interested in her continuing this career and doing well, would have taken the same time and care to look over the contract and realize that this was a really bad deal. You know, content creators have to be very careful about the contracts they sign because, you don't want your intellectual property to be just completely taken away from you just because a company says, because of a contract, a bad contract. So in this case, it really seems like you looked out for her and that you did the best thing for her. It doesn't matter if you made everyone else mad. It doesn't matter if you put a strain on this rift in the family. It was already there, it sounds like. You were just doing what your, daughter was asking you to do by looking over this contract. The rift is their fault, and yeah, you have nothing to do with it. So no, you're not a jerk. But anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. She asked me to take a look. This right here means that in no way you could have ever been the jerk. Your adult stepdaughter asked you to look at something for her, and you did, in good faith. You didn't go out looking to cause a rift, and you didn't stick your nose where it didn't belong. She asked you, and you were honest with her. That's all that happened here. The fact that both of her parents seem okay with the company taking advantage of her is far more concerning to me, honestly. Yeah, exactly. Why her parents aren't being overly protective in this situation is beyond baffling. All I can figure is that they just don't want her to succeed on her own. And that's really a shame if that's the case. Not the jerk. She asked me to look. That's it. That's the whole thing right there. Yeah. Asked mom and dad how they'd feel if their daughter went to a bank for a frivolous $35,000 loan for marketing her Instagram. I bet they'd lose it. That's all this contract was. Yeah, that's actually a really good analogy because that's what it seems like. Our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Wishing People a Happy Mother's Day? I'm a 35-year-old female, and I've always enjoyed Mother's Day and celebrating it. When I go out on Mother's Day, I always wish as many ladies as possible Happy Mother's Day. On my last stop, which I was picking up some groceries from the store, I asked the cashier if she had a good Mother's Day. The cashier sort of deflected and then said she doesn't celebrate. I asked her why when it's such a fun day, and she told me for personal reasons and changed the subject. When I got home, I mentioned this weird interaction to my mother and sister, who were over because the guys in our life were making us a special dinner, and my sister told me that it was rude and unkind to force the celebration of a day on strangers, not knowing their personal situation. I told her that it was a day just to celebrate mothers and women, and I'm trying to spread a little kindness and joy and not trying to hurt anyone. My sister told me that Mother's Day might be painful to others for a myriad of reasons. So I asked her, because someone might have a painful experience, the rest of the world shouldn't celebrate. What about the people who are celebrating Halloween or Christmas or their birthday or any other holiday that might have a painful experience? They shouldn't get to celebrate because it might hurt someone? That doesn't seem fair to me. She told me that it's different, but she couldn't really give me a straight answer as to why. I mean, someone's parent could have died on or right before Christmas, so we shouldn't say Merry Christmas or Happy Halloween. What if someone's parent died on Halloween? Should we avoid saying Happy Halloween? Should we just ignore the happier parts of life because it might hurt someone else? I'm not trying to be dramatic, but what's next? Not saying TGIF because someone might have a bad memory of a Friday? It started out as an unnecessary argument that accumulated in a stilted dinner and my mother accusing me of ruining Mother's Day. Personally, I don't see how I ruined anything when my sister started the argument in the first place. Was I a jerk? Alright, OP. I do think that you're a bit of a jerk in this situation, and here's why. I mean, I think you kind of put a false equivalency out for Christmas and Halloween and whatnot, and the reason why I think that's probably a false equivalence here is because Mother's Day kind of celebrates the ability to become a mother, whereas Christmas, Halloween, and all these other kind of holidays, you can celebrate regardless of whether or not you're a parent or not. And being a mother, the idea of being a mother could be traumatic if, for instance, you can't have children and you want children, or you had a really bad experience with your mother, or you basically, lost a child. And, there's a lot of reasons that could be sensitive to somebody. But I don't think that you're a jerk for trying to spread joy. I don't think that you're a jerk for wishing people a happy Mother's Day. Where I think that you messed up in the first scenario was that you tried to pry about why someone didn't celebrate Mother's Day. That was completely unnecessary. All you needed to do was just accept it on face value. You didn't need an explanation why someone else didn't feel joy on this day. And I really do think that it's good if you spread joy, but I think you would have been a jerk in a similar situation if you had gone around on Halloween and, when anytime someone said, oh, well, I don't celebrate Halloween, you started pressing them as to why. Like, oh, why don't you like Halloween? Do you not like dressing up? Do you not like costumes? Do you not like the celebration? Do you not like candy? Those kinds of questions can be really hard for people to answer when they're put on the spot. Not the Halloween one specifically, but any kind of pressing questions like that. And it makes it really uncomfortable for people if they just want to not celebrate a holiday and want to have their own peace. Don't force people into holidays they don't want to celebrate. And also, accept these people's reasons at face value. You don't need to pry, especially with strangers here. So yeah, that's kind of my take. As for the whole argument, I mean, you two were both being kind of petty here, and it also sounds like you were just upset that your sister called you out for prying into someone's personal life. So, I don't know. I think that's probably what it seems like to me here. But anyhow, take care and good luck. You're the jerk when the cashier deflected and said she didn't celebrate. That's your turn to shut up, not ask follow-up questions. Wishing someone a happy insert holiday here doesn't make you a jerk, but trying to force people to explain themselves to you because they don't celebrate does. You're the jerk. The lady could have had a miscarriage or anything. Don't assume every woman is or wants to be a mother. That's sexist even if you are a woman, or has a positive relationship with their own mother. The reason it's different than any other holiday is that even if your dad died on Christmas, the holiday isn't about dads. The thought of a dad can be separated. Not so with Mother's Day. Can't emphasize enough that your sister is 100% right. You're the jerk. Stop assuming. A lot of us have bad, abusive mothers and mother figures. Alright, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for swearing at my mother during Mother's Day celebration after she excluded my wife? Growing up, I was close to my family. I'm the youngest of 3 kids and had a great upbringing. As of right now, my family isn't that close. My mom and dad have been distant for a while, and my mom stopped hosting holidays years ago. That part is really unfortunate because I know she isn't obligated. But out of my wife, me, and the rest of my family, none of us are good at cooking. And my mom used to do amazing holidays. My parents travel a lot, spend a lot of time with friends, and they just don't seem interested in us or their grandkids from my oldest brother. We get together maybe once or every 2 to 3 months. I saw my mom for Mother's Day the other day, and it came up that we rarely get together, and my parents don't want to do holidays anymore. They do it with their friends. My mom says that honestly, now that her kids are married and bring their spouses, she doesn't have much interest in hosting. I said that was a little selfish, and she said she doesn't have much fun when we all get together. I asked her point blank if she had a problem with my wife. My mom said not particularly, but I chose her. She didn't, and she doesn't enjoy spending time with people she doesn't fully feel comfortable with. I might have jumped the shark a bit, but I called her an evil bee and said I can't forgive her for wanting to exclude my wife. My mom was just like, whatever, but my father was furious and they left. Alright, OP. I think that this is completely unreasonable here, and you wonder why your mom doesn't want to spend time with you, but you tell us this story, and I think I have a pretty good idea about why your mom might not feel comfortable spending time with people, because she just kind of blew this off as if this isn't something that's uncommon to happen. Like, she wasn't super shocked about this. She seemed like, oh yeah, I would expect this. So this doesn't give me warm fuzzies about you and the relationship you have with your mother. And if your family isn't close and you want to spend time with your mother, maybe you kids should put together some kind of hosting and actually cook. Learn how to cook. Or if you need to, get a caterer or something like that. I mean, the thing is that if she doesn't want to cook and she feels like she's doing all this work just to be around people that she's not necessarily the most comfortable with, then you can't really blame her for not wanting to host. And then on top of that, if she doesn't get any support or help with cooking, then she's basically doing all this work, and who knows, she might have to do all the cleaning too. So I could really see why in this situation, if she feels like a lot of burden is put on her, that she wouldn't want to host. And if her friends share in the cooking responsibilities and the cleaning responsibilities, and she enjoys spending time with them, can you really blame her for wanting to spend time with those individuals? So, I don't know. Again, you are not painted in a good light here, and the way she reacted here kind of gives me a little bit of a off-putting feeling about your other interactions with your mother. And on the fact that you picked this fight on Mother's Day on top of that, when you should have been, helping your mom have a good day, it just seems really, really in poor taste. That's just kind of my opinion. So yeah, I do have to say that you're a jerk in this situation. Maybe learn to do a better job at doing things for your mom and cooking for her and celebrating with her in a way that she doesn't have to do all the work. Maybe that'll get her to spend more time with you and not pick unnecessary fights. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Good luck to your mom. Hopefully she finds a better son. You're the jerk. Wow, dude. You escalated. She just said she wasn't 100% comfortable. I mean, you're obviously upset about the holiday thing, but you just took it to such a crazy level. Maybe this whole, looking for an excuse to call your mother a crazy bee on Mother's Day is just part of why she doesn't feel comfortable being around you or your spouse. Also, your mom is allowed to have friends. Yeah. Maybe your mom doesn't like hosting because it's all work, and you're all too lazy to bother yourselves. It kind of seems like what he really wants is her cooking, since that's all he mentions is missing. And of course, she doesn't have a good time if she has to do all the work. My mom doesn't do the whole thing anymore either. We've all grown up, we help. And even though she's not always been wild about everyone's spouses, we're all welcome. Escalating like that, it probably wasn't the first time. Yeah. You're the jerk. Your mom put on at least 20 years of holidays. Now she doesn't want to do it anymore for a pretty valid reason. You're all adults with your own families that your mom doesn't feel super close to. There's nothing wrong with that. She should get to enjoy her holiday with whomever she chooses. Learn to cook. It's not rocket science. Yeah. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. If you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Wishing People a Happy Mother's Day?